If you're a health or wellness practitioner of any background, if you're a physical or occupational therapist, physician, NP, PA, nurse, midwife, health coach, acupuncturist, herbalist, chiropractor, you are in exactly the right place because we are going to talk all about today how to become a true perimenopause and menopause expert practitioner, which is really the key to growing a thriving perimenopause and menopause practice. Absolutely, we're going to talk about the skills you need in marketing and in business, but without a strong foundation of expertise, that is holistic. That is not just hormone therapy prescribing. That is not just nutrition. That is not just lifestyle medicine. We have to think very broadly in this population because you need to gain confidence in complexity. Almost zero of your clients coming to work with you and your patients coming to get support from you who are in this midlife perimenopause to menopause transition have absolutely nothing else going on in the background, right? So many of them also have underlying health conditions, newly triggered health issues, everything from autoimmune disease to chronic concussions, migraines, post-viral illness, POTS, MCAS, you name it. You're in exactly the right place. If you've ever felt stumped or have been stumped yourself by working with a population or feeling this in your own body who maybe was already struggling with endometriosis or other common chronic inflammatory condition or autoimmune condition, another genetic issue, and then they show up in perimenopause and menopause and their symptoms that were well controlled perhaps, or maybe never well controlled, are now out of whack. So I want you to have confidence in complexity. Most programs teach you the textbook cases. We teach you the real ones. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk specifically today about how to build a thriving perimenopause and menopause health coaching practice. You're going to learn the proven strategies to confidently address perimenopause, menopause, and chronic conditions while growing a profitable and impactful, and most importantly, a practice that doesn't burn you out, that gives you full flexibility. You can create it in a lot of different models that align with your needs, because many of us doing this work are kind of either coming into that perimenopause or menopause transition. We're in it. We're on the other side of it, perhaps, but we're rethinking how we want to live and work ourselves. And it's not in this burnout practice model of productivity, of, showing up to the same place every day. We want flexibility. We want time freedom. And all of that is possible for you. So let's dive right into our presentation. And I want to talk to you about the 3 pillars that you will need to have absolute success in the realm of perimenopause and menopause practice. One, you're going to need in-depth education in the confidence in complexity MAP framework and the 7-step system of healing. And we use this at the Integrative Women's Health Institute for healing for essentially anything. It's a framework for how to organize your client visits and your program over time. We're going to align this with healing in perimenopause and menopause and the underlying chronic illnesses that 80% of our clients are dealing with these days. In pillar 2, you're also going to deep dive into business training and career optimization. We not only will teach you how to build and grow a thriving practice, but we've also developed relationships with organizations that are innovative healing practices. There are a lot of new innovative AI model practices that are quickly coming up the pike, and they're hiring our graduates. They want you well trained. And that's why they're coming to us to essentially train their next level workforce. So you don't have to go work for any of these organizations. If you want to break out on your own or you already have your own practice, you can expand it. in this way, but I wanted to let you know that it's not imperative that you build a business. You can also partner with innovative practice models because those are expanding rapidly. And then pillar 3 is weekly expert coaching by myself and our faculty to support your success. So tell me if this sounds familiar. A client asks about her HRT options, or she brings in her lab results with acronyms you half recognized, but you don't feel confident to explain, or she's struggling with hot flashes and insomnia. Um, she's struggling with autoimmune disease and chronic pain. She's struggling with metabolic issues and, chronic headaches. Like a lot of these symptoms of quote unquote perimenopause and menopause are also other issues that may be exacerbated by perimenopause and menopause, or just might be showing up around the same time. We have to be able to look at these clients not in a vacuum that absolutely everything is related to their perimenopause and menopause journey. So you may be here because you've watched other colleagues of yours build thriving practices in this area, because the reality is the demand is huge. And I'm going to show you exactly what that means. So if that's you, you're not alone. Most practitioners were never trained to confidently support women in this stage. Maybe you've learned a little bit about hormone shifts. Maybe you've learned a little bit about hormone therapies, but we have to put this all in context. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So here's the problem. If you can't confidently support women in perimenopause and menopause, especially those with complex cases, your career in women's health will actually hit a ceiling, because this is the population that is expanding the fastest. We are seeing more and more women come into perimenopause and menopause simply because of societal demographic shifts. Women are living longer, they're much more active, they're still working in perimenopause and menopause, and they want to maintain that opportunity. Plus, and this is something that I think is so exciting, this is really the first time in history, maybe the last 2 decades, where women entering this phase had full financial freedom, especially in certain parts of the world, not everywhere, but a lot more autonomy to be able to do what they want in this next stage. So if you don't have this expertise, you're either going to be referring these clients elsewhere, which, if this is not the area of practice you want, that's absolutely fine and encouraged. Or you'll be kind of struggling to constantly Google their issues, or you'll be randomly following, menopause influencers, even the ones who are really skilled don't teach you in their Instagram or even podcast clips how to deal with the complexity and a clear framework for a whole course of a client's recovery and health optimization. You have the opportunity right now to be way ahead of the curve, to be an early adopter in the perimenopause menopause wave that is going to be growing rapidly as the millennials step into this phase, and even Gen X, where I am, we're kind of in it and beyond. But many people of my age group have not been served well. And so they're still looking for help, even in their 50s, 60s, and some of the younger baby boomers in their 70s. So, in fact, approximately 1.3 million women each year enter menopause only in the United States. And by expanding your practice model opportunity, you can reach well beyond the United States. You can reach anywhere in the world. That's 6,000 women per day. And so this is not a niche issue. This is something that, even if you don't want to build a particular practice in perimenopause and menopause, let's say you want to work with pregnant, postpartum women, many women are having children later. A lot of your clients are both going to be pregnant and postpartum, or even trying to conceive and perimenopausal, right? Your clients may have endometriosis and be perimenopausal. This is not a niche issue. Every single person who works with women in their late 30s, 40s, and early 50s and beyond, because like I said, many people are missed in terms of really optimizing their healing in this phase. So you have to be skilled at this or you're just not going to be ready. If you are not confident in this space, in your community, someone else will be. And this is a missed opportunity for your practice. This is a real opportunity that we haven't seen the likes of in my entire career. Because here's the issue: women are starting to understand that their health, there are things they can do about it, that they don't have to just outsource it and be gaslit. Like, we now see more and more conversation around menstruation, around endometriosis, around things that were used to be kind of like shoved in the corner of being like women's, women are just hysterical. Women are just exaggerating how they feel, et cetera, et cetera. So for the last 15 years, I've trained thousands of health and wellness professionals globally, from physical and occupational therapists to physicians, nurse practitioners, PAs, nutritionists, dietitians, mental health professionals. Oh my gosh, you are so needed in this area. We have so many new mental health professional graduates, and I'm so thrilled about that because women are often presenting first with symptoms of depression, anxiety, and other mood symptoms. Women's health professional coaches, herbalists, midwives, fitness professionals. And I've seen the same thing over and over. Once practitioners gain true confidence in perimenopause and menopause, their careers change. They stop second guessing themselves. They attract more clients and they finally feel confident that whoever walks through the door, they've got this. So they feel confident and calm, both financially and personally. They know their practice is safe and growing because they're not constantly struggling with that productivity pressure, that burnout pressure, and this uncertainty that they're not going to be ready. When someone walks through the door with more than one relatively simple underlying challenge. Let me tell you just a little bit about the Integrative Women's Health Institute. I'll introduce myself in a sec too if you don't know who I am. Did you know that the Integrative Women's Health Institute has trained 3,500, actually more than that now, specialty health coaches globally? We've been doing this since 2006. Our in-demand women's health coaches, our graduates are successfully practicing in private practice, hospital systems, state health programs, and in innovative and digital health coaching companies, new models. And I really am excited about these new models of healthcare. Look, there are a lot of problems with AI. But one of the potential benefits that is starting to come onto the scene pretty rapidly right now is that when there is complexity, well-developed AI tools, models, agents. If you don't know a lot about LLMs and other AI tools, you're gonna learn about them in this program because you have to know about this now. They are starting to help put together levels of complexity and personalization that are really going to be helpful for you. But we also know that humans don't always respond to digital coaches. So you have to have that interpersonal skill set and the understanding about what's going on underneath these models so you know when they are wrong, which is a lot right now. And so we have to be very discerning. So if you work with women ages 35 to 60, this is for you. 1 billion women annually struggle with symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, and they are actively searching for you. Nice to meet you. My name is Dr. Jessica Drummond. I'm the founder of the Integrative Women's Health Institute. I'm also the mom of 2 teen daughters. I know women's health and wellness like the back of my hand through the entire life cycle. I've been doing this since Gosh, I graduated from my first graduate program in 1999. I've been a global speaker. I'm a licensed physical therapist and clinical nutritionist. I have a doctorate in clinical nutrition. I'm a board certified health coach. I'm a 2 times best-selling author. I've run 6 to 7 figure businesses since 2006 and 7+ figure businesses every year for the last decade. I work with private client care. I've worked as a clinician in women's health since 1999. So this is hands-on stuff. You are also going to get a lot of clinical pearls here. We actively see clients and we actively educate people hands-on and have been doing it for decades now. Also, I have the lived experience on the other side as a patient, if you will, with chronic illness through perimenopause and menopause. I was diagnosed when I was about 46 years old, just as I was in that wobbly transition. So I have a lot of personal experience that we'll get into in the program. You'll learn all about that. And I wanted to introduce you to some of our graduates. Meet Barbara Horsley. She's a licensed massage therapist. She talks about how much she enjoyed the course. Here's the thing that we're constantly known for, we have been known for more than 2 decades now, is that everything you learn in our programs is strongly evidence-based. You are going to be reading the primary research papers. We're going to be explaining them. You are not going to get just my opinion or my experience or anyone else we bring on to teach and facilitate this program. Everything we teach is 100% supported by evidence and using an evidence-based model. It's just what we believe strongly. And here are some other, some other insights from our graduates. This course is packed with valuable information. One of the things that I love how Maura called this out that sets this program apart from many others is that we give you hands-on attention. You can be learning directly from us wherever you are in the world, 3 times a week, in person, digitally, so live online. And we also record all of those calls. We have an active forum. We have a lot of opportunity. If you are active in this program will meet you where you are and push you forward. So step into being a part of the active support. We also bring in other experts. Again, this program is not reliant only on my personal experience or even my clinical experience. This is reliant on clinical research, primary research, and other experts and collaborators. And our faculty supports, in addition to myself, supports your weekly one to small group coaching. Your personal questions will be answered. And the more you give to this program, the more you're going to get out of it, because I start to know a lot of our students personally. We've stayed relatively small for years so that I can get to know you and really understand what kind of business you want to build, point you in the right direction, give you my huge Rolodex of resources. Like, we are here to know you, not just to have thousands of people have taken our course. No, we have that, but we also work with people, just a relatively few at a time. We're like that smaller, more hands-on university. You're not in a lecture with just 5,000 students and the professor has no idea who you are and doesn't care. We care. We know who you are. If you show up, we're going to know, and we're going to help push your career forward the best we can. Again, like I said, another common theme that our graduates love is that not only is this program rooted in science, but we really lean into the benefit of utilizing lifestyle medicine and what I call the foundations: nutrition, circadian rhythm, sleep quality, movement, recovery, toxin exposure. It's not just hormones. It's everything. It's digestive health, it's gut microbial health, it's immune health. And I'm going to show you the frameworks that we teach you. So you're in the right place if your purpose and career mission is to support perimenopausal and menopausal women to have a healthy weight, brain focus, great sleep, calm moods, and hot flash relief, and so much more. We're going to teach you a step-by-step system. We have lots of frameworks in here to help you navigate the complexities of perimenopause and menopause from a root cause perspective, not just utilizing cookie cutter hormone therapies. We do teach in this program very specific hormone therapies for prescribers, and so that non-prescribers can understand them and what they mean and why people choose this. And here's the reality. Many of our students, while you do have backgrounds in health and wellness, are coming to this first, use themselves as their first case study. We're here to help you feel well first. And that's super rare in healthcare. Usually the healthcare organization or even the training program does not care about your health. But first, let's talk about what really happens right now to most women who seek relief from their perimenopause and menopause symptoms. Either they get from conventional medicine a sort of standard protocol of HRT, and if it doesn't really work, they might try tweaking it a little bit, but they're not going to look much deeper. They simply don't have time. Or they're told, oh, try an antidepressant, or, it'll get better once you get through menopause. Like, that is not a good answer. Or you get online health gurus who give them complicated supplement stacks without knowing anything about their background. They're also given things like, fast, exercise more. Like, no matter who you are, there's this one size fits all protocol. And that's just not true, whether it's in conventional or kind of alternative health gurus. It does not have to be this way. Imagine that you, as a skilled professional, feel confident to change the narrative on menopause so you can support the women in your community to be vibrantly healthy, symptom-free, have a safe expert space to get all their HRT and hormone therapy questions answered, use evidence-based nutrition, supplementation, lifestyle medicine to resolve their symptoms from the root cause. Okay, but wait, maybe you've already tried having your practice filled with women in perimenopause and menopause who are embracing this transition, who are motivated to change their health behaviors and feel amazing physically, but doing this through this transition, helping these women has not yet been your reality. You might have already tried it. You haven't tried it our way, right? It's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. I can show you exactly how to turn this around. The issue is that in our clinical continuing education or our coaching or professional continuing education, we are usually taught tools, not systems. We're taught keto, vegan, use supplement stacks, use melatonin and vitamin D and anti-inflammatories and NMN and NAD or sauna, cold immersion, strength training, weightlifting, intermittent fasting, antidepressants, adaptogens, HRT. We're taught tools, not systems. Systems are the key. Whether you're using pharmaceutical, nutritional, lifestyle, exercise, sleep, any strategy, there is no one size fits all plan. You need to learn a systematic approach to be able to confidently support any woman through the menopause transition. So what we're going to cover today is our 7-step protocol for integrative healing for women. We're going to specifically apply it through a case study to symptom relief for the menopause transition. And I'm going to introduce you to our confidence in complexity maps, because most programs train you for the simple cases. This one trains you for the real ones. Confidence in complexity is what fills your practice. Plus, having the business skills and career connections you're going to get in this program. But the real key is that when women feel safe, seen, heard, and they are working with a practitioner who understands not just perimenopause, but perimenopause and MCAS, or perimenopause and cardiovascular issues, perimenopause and endometriosis. Almost never does a client come to you with a perfectly clean slate health-wise in perimenopause. And even if they do, this perspective is going to help them. So, does this sound familiar to you? You invested years, tons of money in courses, podcasts, books, conferences on hormones, on fasting, on nutrition, on supplements, exercise, but you still don't feel well yourself. You still don't feel confident to serve other perimenopausal and menopausal women well. You're limited in your practice. Your hands feel tied because you can't or don't have time to address sleep, stress, nutrition, and other lifestyle factors that directly influence your client's health. You struggle to attract clients, and your patients and clients feel unmotivated. They don't follow your recommendations, and then they blame you for their lack of progress. You're in exactly the right place if you're ready to build a successful niche practice that easily attracts clients, empowers women, and fills in the gaps that your clients aren't getting from their conventional health providers or quick fix online health gurus, making more money for you than you ever thought possible. If you're ready to be surrounded by women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond who inspire you every day by getting promoted, by hitting their fitness goals, by traveling the world, by enjoying activities with their young adult children, travel, joy-filled living on their own terms, and you want to be among them, right? We so often get our health professionals are struggling with the same exact stuff. If that's you, you're in exactly the right place. You're going to learn cutting edge, evidence based health coaching and functional lifestyle and regenerative health strategies to help women finally be healthy, energized, and motivated to live the lives they desire by healing step by step and celebrating along the way. You're in exactly the right place if you're ready to learn the IWHI systems and maps to engage your clients in the process right from the start. So you'll have a practice full of motivated, happy clients who sing your praises. So let's get into it. This is our IWHI protocol. This is our seven-step system. Say that 3 times fast, right? For integrative healing for women, no matter what issue we're talking about, but it's super important in this case of perimenopause and menopause because all of these situations are complex. So, and then this is our MAPS system. I want to introduce you. We're now in this program. One of the things we've just done as we completely upgraded this program, made it optimized for prescribers and non-prescribers, is that we wanted to give you more tools to organize your thinking. So I created the chronic illness and hormone maps. Right now there are 14. There is room for them to grow. It's a place for you to begin. Where you can learn exactly how the symptoms cluster and overlap, what lifestyle mechanisms and risk factors contribute to these different symptoms, assessment tools. We give you the foundations, what to do first and next, how to look for red flags, who to refer those people to, given which red flag they're presenting with. You'll look at things like milestones. So how does it go when 3 weeks down the road, they're not seeing any improvement? What do we do next? We've given you in these map systems, neurodivergent support, coaching notes, what's the next map to use. There's a lot of flexibility and critical thinking in this process, but it's really well supported so that you have like, okay, I'm stuck here. My client is plateauing. What do I do next? Just look at the map. And, if you have clients who have struggled with POTS, MCAS, PMDD, PCOS, endometriosis, in addition to their perimenopause and menopause, histamine issues, these maps are going to be so, so valuable to you because they're going to help you prioritize and organize a client's whole journey to healing. Think about one woman in your practice right now, or you, if this is you, who is struggling with brain fog, weight loss resistance, fatigue, hot flashes, poor sleep, chronic pain, or any other symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, and or overlapping chronic illnesses. So then we're going to take this step by step. When you can go through these steps confidently in this upward spiral of healing, your practice will fill quickly, especially if you also overlay that with skillful business skills. All right, step one is regulation. Is your client able to easily regulate her nervous system in any situation? Does your client rest and regulate? Does she rest in regulation most of the time, or is she constantly in kind of a bouncing back and forth between fight or flight? Maybe she's living in fight or flight, or she's living in freeze, right? So, or she's kind of bouncing back and forth. She's very rarely in a space of slow, deep breathing, calm aliveness. Then we have to define what is your client's definition and vision of health. Don't skip this step, because this is the key to having your clients get engaged, even when later on in the process they plateau, or you're struggling right now with clients you're kind of dragging through healing. No, this is the step that defines for them what health means for them and how it will feel. How do we know we're hitting these goals? How do we define what success looks like? What does health look like to her? Because it's a wide range, right? Some people want to be very mentally sharp and get that next promotion. Some people want to have the energy to travel. Some people are athletes. Some people want to be able to, be really active in their kids' lives. Like, everyone's definition of health and vibrance is different. So let's define that. When will she know she is healthy? What exactly are the factors? And then in step 3, we're going to empower this healing journey with data. And this is where I'm so excited about these new innovative AI tools. I'm going to teach you how to use wearables, how to use lab data. So we're going to get personal data, and then we're going to integrate that with the AI tools that have the research data. Where does this person fit into the process? What are all her lab numbers? What are her symptoms? What does her continuous glucose monitor look like? What does her Aura Ring or Whoop or Garmin data look like? What does her functional testing look like? We don't have to use all of this data, but a lot of our clients are really excited about data right now. And we want to understand when it's necessary, when it's helpful, when it doesn't really matter, but it might be motivating to her next step. So I'm going to teach you how to put data into context. Because look, this is the reality. Your clients are going out into the world and collecting their own data. And then they get stuck. They don't know what to do with it, or they bring it to their practitioners who dismiss it. And they're like, this is meaningless. You didn't need these tests. You spent all this money for nothing. And both of those things are wrong. It's useful data. It does not tell the story and give you the exact right answer protocol. Like, if your clients are working with an app-based company and they're like, just do these tests and then we'll give you the 6 things you need to do and you'll be in perfect health. No, none of that works. But it's also not the case that this data is useless. So our clients are having more and more access to this. We need to feel really confident to be that place to go where they get understanding, information, education, and then also how to use this data in context. Because we see from the 7-step protocol, it's one little piece of the puzzle. This is not the whole story. So in step 4, this is where we use the maps, we use the specifics of this case to then go through the systems. What is the priority issue? How solid are her foundations? I myself and many of our students and graduates work with a lot of clients who have been through the ringer with the conventional medical system, and they've seen the best of the best neurologists, midlife, gynecology practices that are supposed to be the best of the best at Stanford and other university medical centers, at Mayo Clinic. In fact, one of our faculty works at Mayo Clinic, and they've seen the best of the best. And very often, even the best of the best have skipped the foundations, and our clients are underhydrated, under-rested, undernourished, under-supported. And without that strong foundation, everything we do, all these complicated protocols are not going to work as well. So we're going to teach you the complexities of nutrition and supplementation and medications, and how to understand them, even if you're not prescribing them, and exercise, fitness protocols. But none of those are going to do everything they can if your client isn't really understanding what she needs to do day to day to have a foundation of health, what she needs to do to hold herself accountable, to stay motivated. It's these day-to-day healthy behaviors and nervous system regulation practices that form the foundations of recovery. So, story time. You have a 45-year-old client. She has low energy, low estrogen, low cortisol, low progesterone, vaginal dryness, weight loss resistance, and sleep issues. So, where do we begin? Step one, how is her regulation looking? What is her stress? What are her stress scores? Does she know even when she's physiologically stressed? Is she tracking that? Does she feel when she's in fight or flight or in freeze? Does she have a trauma history? Does she have some current or recent or chronic stressors? Step two, what does vibrantly healthy look like for her? And how much effort is she willing to give? And not just is she willing to give, but what resources does she have? What support does she have? Then what is her story? In step three, consider her lab and wearable data. Her story, her narrative medical history is as important as the data. Is she motivated by data or other information? Then we dive into advising. And here are some of the maps that could be helpful in this case. And again, this is going to be a little case by case. This is where your critical thinking comes in. And this is where I'm going to support you step by step. But we've got your insulin, inflammation, and cardiometabolic map. We've got your cortisol, circadian, and autonomic nervous system map. We've got your estrogen flux and tissue sensitivity map. We've got your pulmonary, sleep, and oxygenation map. So these are just a few that this particular client might start with. Then, so this client let us know, as this is a real case, that she is not regulated. She's sleeping poorly. She's living in fight or flight or bouncing between fight or flight and freeze. So we start tracking her heart rate variability, her sleep quality. Vibrantly healthy for her. Her initial description of that was, I want to wake up feeling energized. I want to start the day with energy. She really was driven by data. So we got some more data on her mitochondrial health. We utilized urinary organic acids testing. There are other mitochondrial tests that could also be valuable in a case like this. We looked at her serum hormones, Dutch testing, and follow-up, mostly to look at hormone metabolism. Again, this is not required for hormone therapy prescription, but it is really interesting to see how well her hormones are being metabolized in the liver, in the gut microbiome, and how strong her mitochondrial health is to support the energy required for healing. Quick wins with morning adaptogens, sunlight, movement, and a high protein and high fiber savory breakfast. So we always do start with some quick wins. People stay motivated when they feel a little better. It's like, I feel a little better, do some more. Feel a little better, do some more. When they get stuck or they plateau or they have a lot of side effects from their implementation, they get really gun shy and they don't trust you. So we have to build confidence in ourselves, but also our clients, and they have to build confidence in themselves. Muscle and bone building is also really important medicine for this particular client. We had to get to the root of her fatigue before we could start adding strength training. So think about if this client is just researching perimenopause, menopause on Instagram, and everyone's like, walk, jump, lift heavy weights, wear a weighted vest, and she is deeply in fatigue. That is not a good place to start, right? She might be actually making the situation worse if she has not leaned into recovery with rest, with sleep quality, with mitochondrial support, with nutrition and nourishment, with life support. Like, Are we going to help her handle her SOP for the morning routine with her 3 little kids or her 2 teenagers or whatever? Like, our clients need broad thinking around energy resources because women are, think about it. Look around, you and your friends. How many full-time jobs do you really have, right? 100% childcare, or 80%, 50% at least. Home care, cooking, cleaning, driving people places, the mental load, a full-time job, parent, caregiver. So many things go into this stage. And without that physiologic energy support, we don't want these clients jumping right into resistant exercise. They're not ready. All right. So we might start her, and in this case, we did with what I call body mind medicine. Oftentimes, before nervous system can be calm and regulated, we have to look for areas that the physical body is not yet being well supported. Does she have enough nourishment? How is her hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis support? And so we might use something like an adrenal cocktail, right? It's a cute name for morning nourishment hydration, which sometimes includes salt, especially if we're talking about our dysautonomia clients or our clients with difficulty with cerebral perfusion, right? They may need, or they just have low hydration. Morning sunlight exposure, shift to a savory, high protein, high fiber breakfast, that shift into nourishment. All right. And then how does this particular client's body and mind respond? What is the pacing? What kinds of changes is she seeing? One of the things we don't do very well as practitioners, because we're just like, we want people to take a little quick hit and like run with it and feel better and like they're good. They're good to go. But the reality is that progress is up and down and messy. That's why we call it the upward spiral. So we have to get granular and support her with each session with little baby step celebrations. You don't understand how far this goes to making sure your practice is achieving the goals for your clients that you're promising in your marketing. Think about all the practitioners you may have seen who are like, this person's going to save your life. They're the person that just knows it all. And then you go there or your clients go there and they're deeply disappointed because there wasn't commitment over time and there wasn't celebration of the small wins to keep people engaged over time. Almost never is this situation a quick fix. All right. In step 5, creation, we are going to start building out health behavior changes into her schedule. And that might include taking hormones, changing hormone patches. It might include medications, might include a walking program. It might include morning routine. What is non-negotiable? Is it her breakfast? Is it her hydration? Is it her consistency with medications? Is it her stress recovery? Is it mental health therapy sessions? Is it physical therapy sessions? Where are we beginning? How are we kind of solidifying the foundations and the non-negotiables and slowly at her pace building on them? Look, every once in a while, especially in this phase, you're going to get a client who's like, her youngest kid went off to college. She just retired. Like, she is ready to just fully commit and can make lots of changes at once. She's got all the support that she needs and she can really move quickly. Sometimes her body or her nervous system isn't ready. Sometimes it is. And then there are going to be lots of people who, like I said, have 3 or 4 full-time jobs in this phase, and they can only make little changes at a time. Keeping them engaged in that process is so important. Then she's going to integrate this. She's going to get the support that she needs. She's going to set up the systems that she needs. Again, this is where some of the AI tools can be really valuable. They can meal plan for her. She can hand that off to one of her teenage kids to meal prep every Sunday, whatever it is. What's the accountability strategy? What's the implementation strategy? We're going to do that in step 6. And then in step 7, after her first program with you, maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 12 months, what does she need to do to hit her next level goal and maintain the improvement she's made? Does she see herself as truly transformed? And this is where it gets really fun, where you have clients who just, didn't see themselves at all as someone who is healthy, who lives in a healthy way, who exercises in a healthy way, who eats in a healthy way, who vacations in a healthy way, right? And now that stuff is all part of her identity. It's so exciting. So, and then in step 7, what is the follow up plan? Support over time is the key to her success, but also your success. It's really interesting. A lot of our graduates have 10 to 50 clients per year, many of whom that stay with them year over year because their goals expand. You don't need to have thousands and thousands of people on an email list. You don't have to have like Facebook ads. You don't have to have a million followers on Instagram to slow down and deeply support enough women to be really excited and hitting their goals, and you to have a highly successful, flexible, financially stable, and secure and growing practice. We have to stop thinking like we all have to be influencers. We don't. We need people who are helping people actually implement the sound bites that the influencers give them. All right. So, what would it be like for you if you felt confident that you could safely and effectively support any woman through the perimenopause and menopause transition? And there are 6,000 new ones a day in the United States. And there are only something like 1,300 prepared practitioners of any license, any certification. That means if you're a fitness professional, you're ahead of the curve. If you're an acupuncturist, you're ahead of the curve. If you're a physical or occupational therapist, you're an early adopter. In your own kind of algorithmic tunnel, it might feel like there's a lot of people doing this. There are not. There absolutely are not. There are not enough nutritionists, dietitians. There are not enough health coaches. There are not enough gynecologists. There are not enough primary care providers. So it will begin to feel easy. What if it felt easy to attract ideal clients? What if you could pick your hours and work from anywhere? What if your clients were thrilled to finally get real answers to their problems, not just either sort of that pill or the cream or the 3-step soundbite on social media, but someone who listens to their whole story, looks at their suite of resources, and then comes up with a very bespoke plan? That is so rare. It hardly exists at all. Our perimenopause and menopause certificate program graduates have created a wide range of ideal practices for both themselves and their clients. Are you ready to join them right now? Let's meet a few of our graduates. This is Deirdre Van Breda. She is a health coach. She has loved this program again because of the integration between the research and the application. This is Karen Rom. She is a health coach as well. She works one-on-one with menopausal women. She launched already, this was before, she launched a digital course last January, and she got really clear on her area of focus, teaching women how to integrate healing of their stress response, their hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, and getting really good support for her clients. This is Erin Coomer. She runs a physical therapist practice called Run Seattle PT. And this is really interesting because she works with women who are runners and athletes and generally younger. But if this is you and you're working with clients in their 20s, 30s, early 30s, in 2 years, 5 years, they're going to be 35, 37, 40. They're going to be ready for you to be knowledgeable on what happens next. And it's interesting. You'll go listen to one of my most recent podcast episodes with Chantal Traub. She was a midwife for like 16 years. And so she's working with women primarily in their 30s who are having children. But now she's been doing this for 16 years and her clients are becoming perimenopausal. menopausal. She's working with some of her current clients, moms. So this is an area of rapid growth no matter what you're doing. If you're working in sports medicine right now and your clients tend to be a little younger, they are going to age with you. So get ready, be ahead of the curve. Oh my gosh. And meet Pamela Wendell. She just won an award in the UK through the British Standards organization. She and her team literally built the British standards around menopause in the workplace. She's a globally renowned speaker to corporations. She gets corporate level speaking remunerations for teaching their C-suite and managerial executives how to help keep menopausal women and perimenopausal women in the workplace being productive. It saves these companies millions and combined billions a year. She's working primarily in the UK, but this is a really hot topic among corporations globally because think about the talent in late 40s, 50-year-old women. They don't want to lose that depth of talent who has all the knowledge about their company and about their processes and about their IP and about their procedures and about their sales skills. Like they don't want to lose this depth of valuable human resource. And so there's a huge growth area in the corporate world. In fact, Pamela just gave our students a guest lecture all about how to get into corporate perimenopause and menopause health, which you'll get access to. Again, our students and graduates love a lot about how comprehensive, integrative, evidence-based, scientifically relevant, and we talk about business success. I want this training. Look, if you already love your practice, you love the work that you're doing, whether it's your own private practice or it's in a hospital system or a clinical system, you work for someone else, you just want to have a lot more confidence with these complex clients that are walking through your door. This is for you. But it's also for you if you want a burnout-free practice of your own, if you want new business skills, if you want to be ready to work in this innovative practice area. You're ready to join us if you are ready to have a full practice of motivated, happy clients going through the perimenopause and menopause transition with ease who sing your praises. You're going to love going deep. You're going to love it when your clients take this more active role. You can create hybrid one-on-one coaching practices, deep dive one-on-one coaching practices, group scalable coaching practices where you can reach many, many women or women in smaller groups of say 10 to 25. That's a really successful practice model that's very flexible. And like I said, we also introduce you to some connections inside this course to work for innovative healthcare companies that are right now actively hiring the graduates that have already been through this program. And they loved them so much that they actually reached out to me and were like, okay, we really want you to train our next generation workforce. So I'm so excited to introduce you to those companies. The menopause coach career area of business growth is rapid. You are seeing 1 billion women go through menopause each year. 85% of those women experience symptoms, and we know it's not just related to menopause, but most people who get menopause training are not trained in these intersections between menopause and complex illness. So their options for support are very limited, and the growth in this career is over 7% a year, which is huge, especially in the current job market. Menopause specialist coaches are in demand. Here's one example of a job posting. Their pay rate is very strong, around 6 figures, from 50,000 to 100,000, depending on where you live, depending on your hours. So this is the kinds of work that our graduates are doing. And I'm so excited to see that because they both get to create anything they want, or they're very well prepared to step into these innovative career models. So After learning the 7-step women's healing protocol the women's healing protocol for women in perimenopause and menopause, and being introduced to our MAPS frameworks, you'll also get pillar 2, step-by-step training in business and marketing for successful practice growth with ease, one step at a time. This does not have to be complicated. Pillar 3, you're going to get weekly coaching on your challenges with your own health, with your clients, and with your career. We meet at least 3 times a week, myself and our faculty in small groups with you. This is the stuff that our clients love the most. After learning the IWHI proven 7-step system for root cause healing of perimenopause and menopause related issues, plus learning how you can grow your practice successfully with extra support, as we just talked about, you're now faced with 2 options. 1, do nothing. Don't take this system and these skills and insights you just learned and change your career trajectory. You literally don't have to do anything. You can stay stuck in your current career, and the women that need your support will continue to struggle to find the integrative care that they need to get true root cause health and healing during this phase of life. Or you can step into being that person they need. You take this model, the skills that you just learned, change your career trajectory, attract clients who want more than a quick fix, who are ready to get deep healing, root cause healing. Choose how you work with clients, serve women to live the lives they desire at any age, have a flexible and financially successful career. It's clear that it's time to make a change and take advantage of our time-sensitive bonuses. This is for you if you're ready to create a women's health career that serves perimenopausal women and menopausal women and you. Introducing the Perimenopause and Menopause Certificate Program, Confidence in Complexity. 98% of people in menopause care are stressed at work. They are stuck, no potential for growth financially, no potential for flexibility. Their hands are tied to address the depths of symptoms and the symptoms that are across systems, not just the hormones. They have productivity standards that are very stressful for them and not helping their own perimenopausal health. And their clients and patients tend to be gaslit, stressed, unheard, unmotivated. They're just plain overwhelmed. 2% of people in menopause care are graduates. They love their work schedule. They love their ability to grow financially. They have the credentials to work for innovative healthcare organizations. They have the freedom to serve women fully from the root cause to be happy and healthy exactly how they define it for themselves. They support motivated clients who are excited about healing fully and about even the experiences they have during their healing journey. All right, I know you're in the 2%. Now what? What is included in the Perimenopause and Menopause Certificate Program? If you already know you're in, you can simply click the link below to apply and schedule your call with our career coach team. Even if you don't join our program, schedule that call. That 1-hour deep dive into your career next steps is so valuable. Whether you decide to join our program or not, take that free hour of Kelsey's insights, of our whole career coaching team's insights. They have been doing this now for more than a decade, and the success people get when they really slow down for a sec and think about, what is my next step? And if our program is not the next step, we're going to give you ideas of what is the next step. Okay. So schedule that career coaching call, give that free gift to yourself, and then we'll see if it's a right fit. No pressure at all. So you are going to receive 16 online modules when you join this program, accessible digitally from anywhere with an internet connection, fully evidence-based training taught by myself and guest experts in menopausal, hormone, and metabolic health. Learn a wide variety of perspectives on medical hormone therapies, hormone replacement therapies, and beyond. You're going to learn a lot about GLP-1s, all of the hot topics, right? All of the longevity and biohacking hot topics. We're going to talk about peptides. We're going to talk about red light. We're going to talk about cold immersion. We're going to talk about hair, skin, bones. You're going to really get it all. We're going to talk about some of the most innovative stuff and the stuff that's consistently supported by research. So you're going to get this broad and deep training from coaches and clinicians who are working with literally tens of thousands of women annually. You'll learn nutrition, coaching, supplementation, functional testing, lifestyle medicine, sleep strategies, exercise programs, and more for healing menopausal headaches, brain fog, mood, cognitive issues, any brain related challenges. In fact, some people love our brain module the absolute best. That's one of the things I've seen in all the feedback I've been reviewing as we're updating and upgrading this program. Support optimal metabolic health, reverse weight loss resistance, improve weight gain, stopping hot flashes, and optimizing heart health. Cardiovascular health is still the most important to women's health and longevity. Heart disease is the number one killer of women. You will learn nutrition, coaching, supplementation, functional medicine, etc., for determining when clients need to pursue hormone therapies or other therapies for low estrogen, progesterone, or testosterone, supporting vulvovaginal health, sexual health, and reversing vulvar atrophy, helping your clients fall asleep easily. Oh my gosh, sleep is one of their number one struggles. Women really struggle when they have brain fog and they can't sleep. Weight loss resistance is an issue, very frustrating one. But that lack of sleep, exhaustion, combined with insomnia is really torturous. You're going to learn sleep, mitochondrial function, energy, cognitive function, and brain fog relief. You're going to help your clients have great bone, muscle, and fascial health, support your clients to grow stronger, have healthy and radiant skin through the menopause transition beyond, how to build a full practice full of raving fan clients who love telling their friends about you, and they'll help you actually market yourself by how well they're doing. You're also going to learn, though, the tools and skills of marketing and sales without being salesy so that it feels easy and it is easy to attract clients. All right. The Perimenopause and Menopause Certificate Program is for you if you want the education and support that you need to finally have a successful career as a perimenopause expert. Go beyond just learning the tools. Don't go to another course on like Redlay or hormones or, Dutch testing. Like, you don't need one random tool course. It's all here. And it's integrated into our 7-step effective system. We've been using this system since 2006. This program is not for you if you're not excited about learning cutting edge and evidence-based menopause health science and integrative tools for healing and simple career building strategies. It's not for you if you're not excited by being a menopause health innovator that others follow, or if you're okay spending hours every day for years trying to learn the latest perimenopause and menopause updates by searching the research or haphazardly following menopause influencers. Even if they're good, they can't help you implement a complete system. Confidence in complexity. All of these clients are complex. I want you to feel so confident that you're ready, no matter who walks through your door. All right, here's your next step. Click the link now on this video or just below to learn all about our perimenopause and menopause certificate program, including our money back guarantee. If you go all in and complete our program and don't feel confident and ready to build your successful perimenopause and menopause practice to continue it growing, we'll give you a full refund. Joining this program is absolutely no risk to you. In fact, we have a 6-month money back guarantee. If you go all in, you complete your assignments, you show up, you put the energy into it. I have built this program. I have refined this program. I have updated this program with over 300 data points of feedback. I am 100% confident that you are going to feel confident in your practice, no matter how complex your clients are. If they have POTS, if they have MCAS, if they have histamine issues, mold, chronic fatigue, they had, a post-concussion, they have migraines, they have chronic pain, they had endometriosis, they have all these other things, and not just perimenopause and menopause, you are still going to feel confident. And I'm going to give you my word that if you've done all the assignments, you've shown up for the program, and you don't feel confident, In that 6 months, we will give you a full refund. There's no risk to you. I've got you. I know you're going to feel ready. Our most successful graduates take decisive action. Don't delay. Tuition scholarships are available right now. So apply now, fill in your application, and schedule your call with our career coaching team. Give that gift to yourself no matter what. Even if this is not your next step, spend an hour talking to our expert career coaches who are going to guide you through exactly what your next step is based on your unique goals. We're not here to just funnel thousands of people through our program. We are here and we stand behind it with 100% money back guarantee to make sure that you hit your career goals. And quite frankly, our deeper goal is that every woman in perimenopause and menopause, all 6,000 who are going to step into that transition today, yesterday, tomorrow, the next day, all over 1 billion women right now are getting the support that they need. There are very few people doing this work at this level. You are so needed. Apply now, schedule your call with our career coaching team, take action, learn about our scholarships that are available right now and our bonuses. Your next step is to apply today, schedule your call with Kelsey and the rest of our career coaching team. We are enrolling now, and we cannot wait to meet you and support your success. Perimenopausal and menopausal midlife women, the athletes, the moms, the executives, the volunteers, the caregivers, the health professionals, the wellness professionals, the fitness professionals, including you, need this level of depth of wisdom. You're the person in your community to step up, give it to yourself first, and then serve the thousands of women every day who are actively searching for you. I can't wait to meet you inside the program. Go schedule your call right now with our career coaches. They can't wait to talk to you. And I'll see you soon. Thanks so much.